Look into my eyes. Hello everyone, welcome back to this shop. I'm super excited to start beginning to refurbish a lot of my great uncle's hand tools. And we're gonna start things off with this really cool ancient brass measuring device, which is called a traveler. Thanks to Farmstead Forge, who knew exactly what this tool is. I've never seen anything like it. And it's apparently used for measuring the outer circumference of wagon wheels. It makes perfect sense, right? It rolls right along and you can take a measurement of it. As you can see, there's lots of different like little measuring points. Well, I'm gonna use that not for wagon wheels, but for different types of shapes that are, I can't just draw a tape measure on. Let's begin. Now the first thing I'm gonna do is take this whole apparatus apart so that I can clean each individual piece and then put it all back together. I'm gonna linseed oil this handle, just get it all cleaned up, because you can see that a lot of this old iron is just pitted like crazy. I'm really excited to get this thing cleaned up. Let's begin. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of oil kind of in between everything, just to kind of, hopefully I can crack these threads, but we will see. Kind of make sure that works all in there. And what's amazing is it still runs so nice and true for being 100 years old. Let's see what we can do here. Oh yeah. Oof. All right, let's take this to the vise. Actually going to give this just a couple little love taps to maybe delaminate these threads just a little bit, just giving it a little love. Come on, baby. Oh, yeah. I feel like I'm decoding history here. Is that one piece? Seems like it. Probably cast. It's actually brass, or bronze, I should say. Okay, now that we have like a nice preliminary cleanup here, feels good, looks good, now comes a lot more of a delicate process, because if I were to take the wire wheel straight to this brass, I'm probably gonna work a lot of these numbers off of here. So I need to figure out a good, very gentle way to take 100 years of tarnish off of this brass. And I think I'm gonna start chemically before I go to mechanical. Let's find out. Okay, so I have some brasso here that's probably been long expired. I don't know how fast this stuff goes, but I'm gonna try a little bit on this rag and just see if it'll actually start to kind of eat away a lot of that corrosion, because that stuff is deep. You see, the property where this blacksmith shop was on the coast. So it had a lot of exposure to just harsh weather. So usually this would clean stuff up pretty quickly, but this stuff might be just a little bit too far gone. We'll find out. Ammonia is a great way to kind of clean up a lot of these metals, a lot of oxidation. Maybe if I rub a little harder, maybe if I let it soak on there for a minute, not too sure. But I'm not seeing much coming off of this. I guess my greatest fear is to lose all of the incremental measurements along this edge because brass can be a little on the soft side. I don't know if you could even see, but yeah, all those little tiny measurements, I don't know. But it doesn't look like the ammonia's taking it off. I might have to wire wheel it. Tell you what, this stuff is really on there. Okay, I think I found the trick. So I came back over with the wire wheel, gave it a very delicate little brush, and then I came back over with the ammonia and it popped right out. So I think we got our strategy. Okay, well, I have been polishing this thing for a while, just before I'm gonna probably start removing material here. But look at her, gorgeous. Oh, and I'm actually thinking this is cast bronze perhaps. And I wanna show you a very cool detail here. So you see the two different materials. You have the cast bronze poking up through this brass bushing, and the manufacturer or the creator of this, implement, used a center punch to fold over the material to make them one. It's old school stuff like that that lets you know this thing is every bit of 100 years old. How incredible is that? And even cooler yet, it was hand stamped. Hand stamped. So the reason I know that is you can see the numbers. It's very faint, but you have 1, 2, 3, and then the 4 is on a different axis. It's rotated 90 degrees. Either that was an element for the design or someone messed up. And it's things like that that I find so incredibly cool. Now, unfortunately, a lot of the very fine tuning, like you were talking the 1/8 inch increments, we're kind of lost. I can see on some sides where I can see them a little bit, but this thing was probably just stored in such a way that it was in some type of material or just, it's old and it was near the coast. This stuff just happens and we lost quite a bit of that fine increment, but I can still see the numbers. And honestly, it's just cool regardless, even if I keep it as a keepsake on my shop wall. Now all that's left to do is put it back together. Now, as I'm looking at this wheel, I don't know if you're able to see it, but there's a little bit of a bend to this piece. Who knows, maybe, long time ago, it underdid some abuse. So I'm gonna try and just tweak it a little bit. I gotta be very gentle here to not snap it because I believe this is cast bronze. This has to go down a little bit. Very tiny increments. Because man, my heart would be absolutely broken if all of a sudden just broke in my hands. It's looking a lot better. It's interesting to think about our current modern tools, if any of them would become relics one day, you know what I mean? This might have been some disposable little widget that they would have had, but to me, it's priceless. I now look around my shop to think, man, what would my my great nephews or nieces, cherish out of my workshop, Okay, I think that's about as far as I'm willing to take it. Let's put it back together. How much play do I want? I like it to be nice and kind of tight. Oh, it's already got pretty much like a stop on it. That's cool. But I don't know how particular you guys are, but I would love for this little bolt to line up with this shaft. Perfect. Oh, it is gorgeous. And what's cool about it is I'm going to be able to measure radiuses so much easier now. And then you just count the turns. This is a 24-inch wheel. So I can measure radiuses. And what's even cooler yet is, let's say I want to forge that shape. I can actually use this tool, put it at 0, right there, and I can measure as I go. Rather than, because usually I would take a piece of string and I'd roll that out. Oh, what an amazing little tool. I've never seen anything like it, but I'm gonna get some use out of it here. God, and this is only one step to rebuilding all of my great uncle's tools. I have so many others to go, and I can't wait to take you on the journey with me. And as always, my friends, thank you for watching.